Hey everybody, welcome to another drive-through digital playthrough. Today we're going to take a look at Pathfinder Adventures Rise of the Rune Lords. This is of course based on the Pathfinder Adventure card game. We're going to just take a quick look at some of the pieces of the app and then going to go and play through a scenario. You can see at the bottom you got tutorial and the rules and all the settings. It does a good job, I think, of the tutorial. I have played the card game a ton actually, and so maybe it was easy for me to learn, so it's hard for me to gauge that. First, let's jump down to the store. You can kind of see what you get. I haven't bought anything yet or anything like that, but everything you're going to see here is you can get for free. If we take a look over here at the adventures, you can get the Rise of the Rune Lords. It's straight $25. You can get these different packs here that you can see as they come out. They've come out with the first two, but you'll get all these and as well as some other different characters and things. Now you notice that costs actual money, but if I go down here to burnt offerings, this is 750 gold. I've currently got 637. So you can get gold in the game through killing monsters and completing quests and then buy stuff with the gold in game, which is pretty cool. And the characters you've got here, you can actually spend gold to get the character add-on pack, or you can get some of these individual characters. And you can also get treasure. And treasure you will also get in the game through completing quests and things. These are going to be kind of like extra cards that you might acquire and add into your different characters' decks. You do get cards anyway just for completing quests as well. So you're going to kind of acquire those naturally. And then of course you can go ahead and like buy gold for money if you really want to. Now I haven't spent any money on this because when it was first released, the app had some pretty nasty bugs. So I think it may have one or two more minor bugs still hanging around, but I should say the app is really, really good. So I wouldn't be doing a video if the app wasn't actually very good. But unfortunately, it's got some kind of like, initial launch pains and things. But right now, it's definitely stable if you were to go get it at the time of this video. Let's go in and take a look at the quest mode, which is interesting. And then I'll jump back into the story mode. Now, I've actually completed some quests and things and all of the story mode so far, but I had to delete the app because I had a bunch of these like extra characters around and it was kind of like in a weird funky state. So I actually had to uninstall and reinstall the app, which of course wiped out all my progress, which is a bummer. But here you can see you've got different characters that you can add. I still just have these two characters. And this is sort of separate from the main story. It's kind of like a roguelike. You can just kind of keep grinding and playing kind of randomized quests and adventures. It's pretty neat. Just going to kind of show you a little bit of that interface here. So you can see you can pick different difficulty levels and so on. They're going to give you gold for completing them and give you extra powers and abilities for your characters and so on. But I just wanted to kind of quickly highlight that mode. I think that's a really cool feature. Like, you don't have that really in the card game. I mean, you could kind of do it yourself randomly, but this is a little bit more controlled. So we're just going to go ahead and exit out of here. I'm going to jump in and play the next quest that I have available on my story mode. So here you can see I've got a party formed with Marciel and Kira. So we're going to go ahead and just continue that. And we're on the poison pill. And I don't know if you saw my record on the last one. That was actually, I got into a state in the app that I had to actually forfeit that particular quest because it was just like a bug and I couldn't get out of the interface. Not a big deal, but so you can see you've got these three quests basically that you can do for free in the story mode, and which I'd already beaten, but I have to do it again. But it's fine because it's actually fun, so it doesn't really bother me. And then here you can jump around. You can see the different locked quests and quest lines that you can go through, and your characters you can maintain them and persist them across all of these numerous quests. So we're going to go back to here. We can take a look at our characters real quick. And we can see here's Marciel. She is a rogue. You can see here the strength is a D8. So that means if you do a strength test, you roll a D8. She's a little bit better at dexterity. She'll roll a D12. And then if it's more of a specific dexterity act, like stealth or disable or something, you'll get a +2 modifier. And more importantly, you have these powers here that you can do. And you can actually execute these. You can play cards, but you can also do these kind of special abilities. So if we look at Kira, she's got the same kind of idea. She's got like a heal, which adds more cards from her discard back into her deck. We'll take a look at her skills. You can see she's really good at wisdom. She gets a D12 there. And if it's a divine check, then she'll get a little modifier. So let's go back here. And then we'll go ahead and jump into the adventure. We'll start the poison pill. And all of the quests, and even in the quest mode, are going to work pretty much the same as what you're going to see here. We'll go ahead and skip the story just so you guys can discover that for yourself. And I've already seen it like 4 times. So there's a special scenario rule for this particular quest. So add 2 to your checks to acquire allies. We're going to run into a lot of allies in this particular scenario, so it's going to be a little bit easier to get them. And here's our villain, this Pillbug Potiker. So his sort of gist is he's trying to sort of terrorize and poison this village. And so he's going to have these quote-unquote henchmen. In this case, these are actually just kind of poison traps kind of laying in wait for our heroes. So we're going to shuffle him with all of those different henchmen and put them in these 4 different locations. Now, based on the number of players, or number of characters, I should say, you're going to have an increasing number of these locations. And these all have different effects and abilities. So I'm going to go ahead and just assign these without having to do too much explanation. I'll talk about it more when we get in there. So we're going to put these 2 guys in 2 different locations. You can put them in the same location if you wanted. But you're trying to go and find out which one of these locations had the villain, the main villain, shuffled into. And the others had the henchmen. And then as you kind of work through each location, is a deck of cards, and you kind of try to close those locations so whenever you encounter the villain, they may escape. If there's some open locations, you kind of slowly kind of narrowing and focusing down your efforts to kind of corner the villain. And if you look in the upper left, as we click around on these different locations, it'll show you the makeup of each location. Not the exact cards, but the types of cards that you will encounter. So some may have more monsters or more items and stuff like that. So you can also kind of tailor your questing based on what you might need at that particular moment in the scenario. We'll go ahead and leave the turn order like that. And visit the town of Sandpoint, which is funny because like an hour and a half north of here, there's a town called Sandpoint. Okay, so we're going to start with Marciel, and the thing you're mostly going to do is draw the top card of the deck and encounter it. Oh, cool. So here we've got an item card, and if we take a look at that, you can see you need a strength check of 11 to try to get it, but it's a really cool mace. It's a flaming mace +1. So her strength is only D8, but I've got this crowbar. So I can reveal this card and add another die. You can use this in a non-combat strength text, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I like this mace, so I'm going to go ahead and look at Kira. Now she's got 2 blessings here. Normally you have to be at the same location as a character, but blessings you can cast from anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and that's going to add another D8. Might be overkill, but I want the mace. Alright. And you'll find that I like to have overkill because the dice hate me in this game. So normally my turn would be done. I've done my explore, my draw. I'm going to go ahead and discard this troubadour. You can see he's got multiple effects you can do with different encounters, but you can also discard him to explore the location, so you can get kind of a free explore in. Okay, we've got a spyglass. This is going to help us with perception checks. I don't really care if I get this, so I'm just going to roll without modifying, but I got it anyway. Now it has a cool special ability here. Discard this card to examine the top 2 cards of your location and put them back in any order. I'm not really concerned right now. I am at my hand limit, so I'm going to have to discard a card. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just discard that spyglass. And then I'll end my turn. And it'll now be Kira's turn. And you can see up here in the upper right, this is our blessing deck here. And there's a number 28. That's the amount of turns we have left collectively between all the characters. So if you don't find the villain by the end of that, then you've lost the scenario. So we'll go ahead and do an encounter. Ooh, a chest. So I need a melee. I don't have any dexterity, so I couldn't really do that. You can see these. You can actually sometimes choose which type of test you want to do. So there's a dexterity of a 9 and then a strength of 10. This is going to give me some weapons, but I'm not. I just got a really good weapon. The chances of getting a weapon that good are probably not very high. So I could shuffle this back in. This card allows me the choice. I'm going to go ahead and just banish it to get it out of the way and get it out of the deck. Not super concerned with that. I'm going to go ahead and just end my turn. So we're going to go back there. Oh, now here's an ambush. So the difficulty number is increased by the scenario deck number, which is 0. And I've got a burglar here who can help me. So it's an acrobatics test. It's a target number of 9. I've got +2, so I need to roll 7 on a d12. And I can recharge this guy. Now when you recharge it, you put it back under the bottom of your deck. So that gives me a d10. So the reason that's good is I can get to use them again later, probably. But also your deck is your health. So you can see here's the 10 cards I have in my deck. Once I run out of those, I'm dead, or I'm defeated. So let's go and try to do this. Okay, cool. And that encounter has the ability of, if you defeat it, you can get a free explore right away. So that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and take that free explore. Okay, so I ran into a skeleton. And now I get to actually use some special abilities here. So the skeleton here is immune to mental and poison traits. And if the check to defeat has either slashing or piercing, the difficulty to defeat is increased by 3. Which is good. Let's see, let's look at this longbow. Now that's piercing. I don't want to do that. So good thing I have this mace. The other thing I'm going to do is, I'll just use this for now. So I'm going to reveal this. Gives me another d8, so I got to get a 7. I tell you what, I am going to actually, she has a special ability here. If we go look at her powers, she has this sneak attack. There. I'm going to go ahead and use that. And what that's going to let me do is recharge a card. So I'm going to go ahead and just recharge that crowbar. That might come in handy. And that's going to add an extra d6 in there for sort of insurance. See, even with those 3 dice, I just got an 8, even with the +1 modifier. So the dice hate me. So I am always going overboard. But that's good. He's defeated. He's out of the way. And he's not going to bother me anymore. Okay. Let's see here. There's a sling. Do not care about that. I'm not going to waste any cards trying to get this up. I'm just going to roll and let it pass me on by. I am going to go ahead and discard. Let's see, what's this? Oh, Blessing of Calestra. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this Blessing Gods to explore again, because the blessings allow you to explore. Okay, Night Watch. Oh, this guy's... Well, if I get him, then I can explore again. Yeah, no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and spend this other blessing. Well, hang on. Oh yeah, since the blessing matches the current blessing on top of the blessing deck, then I can actually recharge this instead of discarding it to explore. Now I want to get another blessing, which I could probably get. Nope. If I got that, then I could explore again. That could be nice, but no big deal. Okay, so next turn. Troubadour, I'm going to try to get this. The only reason I want to get it is to explore. But he could come in handy for this dex check. But I think I've got enough dex here. So I'm going to go ahead and discard it to explore. Another battle axe +1. I'm not going to be too greedy. I'm just going to roll. No, no big deal. Okay. Back to Kira. Just gonna explore again. Cape of Escape. It helps me evade. I'm not worried about that though. And I gotta spend a lot to try to get up to that dexterity of 8. I could spend a blessing here to explore again. How many blessings do I have? I've got 3 in my deck. I'm going to go ahead and just not spend it yet. I feel like I'm doing okay on turn count. Masterworks tools. Reveal this card to add 2 dice to your disable check. So this is like an improved version of my Thief's tools, I believe, which is good. So I've got a roll of 5 on this D12. Yeah, cool. That's good. I probably won't do much with this now, but I can add it to my deck later. So I'm gonna go and just discard this. So I've got that. I'm not really gonna use it now, but you can go and kind of reset your decks based on all the cards you find. So that'll help me out on a future adventure. All right. Oh, here's the villain. Look at this. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to encounter him, and now it's gonna give me the option to close, at least temporarily, one of my other locations. I'm going to skip this story here. So I'll kind of try to explain this if you're not familiar with the game. So I'm going to have Marisol attempt to close that location. So after I encounter the villain, he's going to escape, because as long as there's an open location, he'll escape to there. So I can narrow it down and put him definitely in one of the other 2 locations so we can more methodically go after him. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to close this location. So this location has the ability, you maybe can't read it, but it says summon and defeat a bandit. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. So if that succeeds, then it'll be, in this case, temporarily closed. Okay, so, oh, this guy makes me recharge a card. I want to recharge this potion of vision. So I have combat, and we're going to go ahead and do, instead, my strength is not good, so we're going to do a longbow. We're going to reveal that. So I've got, combat of 12, huh? We'll go ahead and do our special ability, and we're going to recharge these bracers. Add another d6, and we're going to go for it. See what we get. Okay, so the difference in there was 2. So he did 2 damage to me, but I would normally discard 2 cards, so 1 card per damage. But I have a leather armor, which I can, let's see, if I recharge it to reduce it by 1, I can banish it or bury it. So I'm going to go ahead and just bury it, which puts it out of the game for now, but I'll get it back, and that's going to reduce the damage to 0. Sometimes you have to banish stuff and you just lose it forever, so it's taking damage. So it didn't close it, which is unfortunate. But now I'm going to deal with this jerky. And I prefer to defeat him. So we'll reveal that. That'll give me a d6. We'll go ahead and spend the blessing. It'll give me another d6. So I'm going to get up to 9. She has no blessings to spend. And what's guidance going to do? Just going to add a 1. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and discard it just to get that extra 1. And we're going to try it. Oh, we got him. Okay, so that's good. That's going to automatically close this location. I'm going to try to recharge this. So I need at least a 2 on a d12. So that's good. So that location is going to close. We're going to shuffle them together with some blessings and put him in the other 3 locations. And this location is going to have all its cards removed. Now, if I'd failed, it would pull blessings off of the blessing deck up here, and that's going to decrease my timer. But since I defeated him, yes, he's going to escape, but it's not going to deplete my timer any worse. And I've now theoretically just shut down this location so he can never go there again. Okay. Well, let's just try to get this. Cool. I'm going to hang tight because I don't have a lot of cards to work with here, so I can draw back up. Okay. Because you remember on the previous turn when I had the encounter with the henchman. So now I'm going to move her. I haven't moved locations yet. So you can see this location here is closed. I could have her come up here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to send her down to... I'm going to go here because this I could possibly get some extra cards from this one. Okay, so I get to explore. Ooh, rat swarm. Okay, so we'll go ahead and reveal this. I need to get a 6 on 2d6. Oh, but I have to defeat it by 4. That's a special ability. If I defeat it by 4, it's still going to go back in the deck, so I'm going to defeat it by 4 more. So I'm going to go ahead. Got plenty of blessings. We'll go ahead and spend a blessing I got here. Now she could spend a blessing. Yep, I'm going to have her do that too. Probably way overkill, but like I said, yeah. Oh, and I get a free explore. That's cool. Oh, cool. I hope I can defeat him. I spent all his blessings. Okay. This could be interesting, because then I'm going to know exactly where he is. If I can close this location here, defeat him, he's only going to go to one spot. So let's try this. Yep. Bandit again. Jerk. Okay, well. Got to recharge this crow. Don't care about that. That's an effect of the bandit. And we're going to go ahead and reveal this. We're going to get to a 12. And then we can go ahead and use her special ability. I'm going to go ahead and just recharge the mace. And should I spend the blessing? She's got plenty of cards. Not a ton of blessings, though. No, I'm not. Okay, good. So that location temporarily closed now. This time it worked. So now I'm going to try to defeat this guy, which probably is going to be a little more difficult. Yeah. So we'll reveal that. So I've got to get to 9, but it's a good thing I didn't use that blessing. I'm going to use this blessing now to add that. So I've got to get a 9. That's the best I can do. Oh, good. So it's going to automatically close this location. I know where he's going to go. So now my party can group up. So I'm missing out on possibly some cool encounters and items there by closing it. Oh, right, but this one gives me D6 random items. And then I get the top one, which is going to be, what was that? Forfeit exploration, yeah, I don't care. So I got a potion of energy resistance. So I can reduce a certain type of damage. So if I ever take any acid or cold damage, I can just spend that. That's kind of neat. Kind of specific, but neat. Okay, so her turn's done. Now she can go in here and try to, let's get through this. Okay. Well, she's just going to use here. Try to defeat the gecko. Good. Alright. That's going to end her turn. I think we're doing really well this particular campaign. She's going to move away. She doesn't care about that. So she could come down here. We know that's where the villain is. But I'd rather have her just kind of group up, and then we'll go through this one together. And then we'll both jump in to the villain location together once we get him. Because now we just have to find the poison trap. Now let's see. She's got some blessings there. So I'm going to skip my Explorer just to show you her special ability. She has this heal, and this allows her to shuffle in some cards into her deck. So instead of exploring, you can do this. Just reveal a card. Divine card, I should say. And then I can cure her. What's she got in here? Some blessings. No, I'm going to go back to her. So I'm going to cure herself. Roll this. So I'm going to shuffle in 2 cards. Oh well. From my discard back into my deck. So I'll probably got some blessings back in here, which are going to come in handy. Kind of guarantee victory. Alright, and we're going to do explore. Poison trap. Okay, good. Oh, piece of cake. Thieves' tools. Discard, automatically defeat. So that was a piece of cake. And I'll try to recharge it. Since she's a rogue, she's got those cool tools. Alright, so I did recharge, stays in my deck. Which is good twofold because I get to use it again and it doesn't deplete my health. I'll close the location to try to defeat the bandit. And we're going to go ahead and recharge a blessing since we got 2 of them. And we're going to go ahead and do combat. We're going to just... How many blessings does she have? She's got at least 1, so we can save that for the final encounter. We'll discard that. You'd think I could roll an 11 with all those dice. And you'd be right. Okay, so that location is closed. There's no close effect on this one. So, not like the other one where we got a free item. Okay. So now we've closed 3 of the 4 locations. We know right where the villain is. We've got 16 turns, plenty of health. This is probably the easiest this has ever gone for me. We'll go ahead and explore. An ally, don't really care. I did acquire him though. You can reduce damage. I'm going to get rid of this one because it's very specific and it's not probably going to be useful this turn. And I'm going to have her move. I'm going to partner up. So now we can help each other with more cards than just blessings. And she's going to explore. And this is a Divine Wisdom spell, which would come in very handy for my friend. Let's see. Yes, this is a very nice card, actually. This allows somebody to attack with their Divine and add a d6, which could be very useful. So I'm actually going to have her spend a blessing to try to get that. And we'll go ahead and do that. See if I can get a 6. Oh, all right. Worth a shot. That's a good little spell. Okay, we're going to go to Kier's turn. Blast Stone. Don't care. D4 damage on a combat. Oh, I still got it. It's in my inventory now. Right, next turn. Let's see. Another hero. Or ally. Not too concerned about that. Okay. Now it's just kind of whittling the deck down to find the villain. Blessing, get that for free, and I can discard it to explore, but I'm gonna keep it. Move here, discard the guard. Don't care about that. I don't plan on taking damage. Okay, here's the villain. This is going to be possibly the final battle, and he's fighting the right person. So he's going to get mangled right now. So now I can reveal, or I can do the discard, add all kinds of dice. And the caltrops, let's see. Oop, don't want to do that. I don't want to evade him. And then I'm going to go over here. She's got she can add her blast stone. I'm going to banish that. And she's going to add her blessing of the gods. You'd think I could roll a 14 out of all of these. There we go. Bam. All right. So he's dead, and now we have won the quest because we've cornered him. I'll skip it so you guys can do the story yourself. So I've done that, and then I've now unlocked the final chapter of this particular quest. 0 gold. That's because I already beat it. You jerks. Okay, so she's got a free card. Ooh, a battle axe. Whatever. I've already got a mace. A fire mace, even. So her free card is... Ooh, return throwing axe. That's a spiffy thing. That's actually going to be very good because it's a dexterity and a d8. And that'll be good for Marisol. So we're going to go to the next one. So now we can kind of manage all the items and stuff that we've acquired and stuff. So let's go ahead and go over to our healer. We're going to drop this down. You can see now I had this axe up here and it was showing 3 out of 2 weapons. So again, the types of cards in your deck are fixed, and then as you level up you can increase that. So I guess the network was long. All right, so we're going to drop that down here. Now we can actually add that to hers, but she's got a lot of good stuff already. Well, I tell you what we can do is we can make this all dexterity based. Oops. So she's got the longbow and the returning throwing axe. So she's set on the weapons. If we jump back over here, we can swap out this mace with the flaming mace and a quarterstaff with the longsword. So everybody's kind of weaponed out here. Now she's got 2 of these items here. She's got this one to do acrobats. That's not really going to be useful for her. So this potion of energy resistances, that could come in handy. And you can do that, you know, on other players too. Now she's got all kinds of stuff. So this Thieves Tools, I've got 2 of these. Reveal this card to add 1 die to your disable check. Reveal this card to add 2. Recharge this card to defeat a barrier whose highest difficulty to defeat is 14 or lower. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of one of these Thieves Tools. Now I've got the Masterworks Tools, which are much better. Spyglasses might be good. I'm gonna keep the spyglasses. It's kind of a better version of that vision. And also lets you look at the deck maybe. Okay, I don't need 2 troubadours. And I don't need this crow to get... Well, wait a minute. Recharge this card to add a d6 to acquire a weapon or item. That could be kind of good. This one helps with combat, charisma, dexterity, disable, and stealth. I'm just going to leave it like that. So we'll go back to Kira. So you can see here again. Let's leave the guard here. That's kind of a nice way to prevent damage. And we can get rid of one of these blessings of the gods. Because the specific blessings are always better because you can have the chance of actually recharging instead of discarding. So I fixed the deck. We're going to save that. So these characters now have their kind of inventory and their spell loadout. And now I could go and do the Black Fang dungeon. And then probably have enough gold, hopefully, to spend and get the next item. Or I might just pay for it. Because that's really good. I really have enjoyed this, playing this despite all of the bugs and things that have been happening. But I definitely recommend you, if you haven't played it, you download it and at least try it. And it's good. It's kind of a light, easy game. You just kind of flip a card, roll some dice, and kind of figure out how much to push your luck with what cards to spend. You know, do I get a cool item for later, or do I, kind of save my blessings and my cool special effects for that final villain encounter? Or, maybe you have a tough encounter, you're like, I don't really want this to hold me back sort of permanently. But it's awesome. I have a great time doing this. And even if I hadn't gotten rid of the card game, this would have killed it for me, because just this implementation, it works perfect. You can just kind of quickly whip out and play a scenario, and without having to set up and build the decks and all that stuff, which I did enjoy. But yeah, so I think this is great. I definitely recommend folks at least give it a try And most folks that I've talked to have gone ahead and sprung for the $25 just to get everything and to start playing. Anyway, so that is Pathfinder Adventures. Thanks.